Well, look who it is. We got us a special
Howdy.
guest today on this episode of Real Fine by Me. He done snuck up in here.
All
Howdy, howdy,
because
howdy.
we got Wes Willoughby from the hit podcast Find by Me. You can find on YouTube. Uh,
Number 130, probably 1,133 on comedy uh
for sure. Number
charts.
one in our hearts, for
Number
sure.
one in your hearts. That's right.
I guest started a couple weeks ago with Wes on that fine show, and he was talking about the movie he wanted to do a review. So we decided not to wait for the wheel, and
The
so
world could end tomorrow.
yeah, we're gonna
I've
do
been trying to get that.
Idiocracy.
It wasn't even like the last time. I've been trying to get these guys to do Idiocracy for a while. So
Well, now's your time. Well, how about we go watch this thing, come back and talk about it.
Sounds good to me.
Let's go.
Yo, it's Josh and T-Cat. Best believe that. Reeling in the truth. Stacking on the film snack. Popcorn popping. Critics keep talking. On this podcast, ain't no time for stalking. Real fine by me, we keeping it free. Josh and T-Cat, the hosts you wanna see. Movie reviews, jokes that ain't new. Keep it locked in, cause we know what to do. Lights, camera, action, movie main attraction. Critics we ain't, but we got that passion. Breaking down the scenes, funny like memes. Josh and T-Cat, man, living the dream.
All right. We're back. An hour and 24 minutes later, we all look the same. It's good.
I'm a little bit tired.
Yeah.
yeah,
So, um,
I'm
this
ready to
movie
start a
was
revolution.
made in 2006. It's rated R. I didn't find out a whole lot of crazy details that I thought were just great on this movie. Uh, probably my favorite was that it cost almost $2.5 million to make, but it only grossed 495,000 in theaters.
Yeah, what about the production company not wanting to promote it at all?
yeah.
They were like,
That's what I
ah,
was
we're
gonna
not promoting
say.
it.
I was reading about the facts about it and
Right.
whatnot. It only got released in 130 theaters,
Oh,
country.
And not even big
oh my.
markets.
Yeah,
Like,
and also another thing, the people that wanted to see Idiocracy, most of the time they couldn't even find it because you used movie phone back then.
Uh,
right.
And movie phone listed it as Mike
Judd,
Judge's
untitled movie.
untitled comedy or something like that.
Yeah.
hmm.
So even if you wanted to go watch it, you wouldn't know to say Mike Judge's untitled comedy.
Well, I actually think Mike Judge was the director, right? And he's probably most famous for Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill movies, Office Space, which is the classic. I really love Office Space, and I'm not going to spoil the end of our show, but I hated this movie. I just did not like
Yeah.
it.
Mike Judge
Uh,
has a new cartoon or animated show called Side Effects that's on Max. Very good.
nice.
Yeah, who was the other guy that he was on this with him? I had it and I just lost it. It was Mike Judge and then another guy that
Oh, Eaton Cohen.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that guy a lot too. But yeah, I mean like Wilson and Rudolph, Maya Rudolph and
Yeah.
yeah. They didn't do any press. It set on the shelf for a whole year and then they decided to just throw it out there on September 2006.
I do think it's kind of found its niche with a kind of a cult classic, and people really have found to love this movie. But it was obvious this is by far our biggest flop that we've reviewed so far. Lost more. I think every movie we've reviewed has made money, albeit maybe just a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
it's the same thing with Office Space because I think that was one of the reasons I was reading about why they didn't um, really widely like spend a whole bunch of money on promoting it is because Office Space was also a flop in the box office.
And that's dude, The
But
Office Space is a good movie.
yeah, I like Office Space as well. Um,
there's like mostly Office Space characters in this movie. A lot of
but
them.
Yeah, that's true.
this is not Office Space, at least not to me.
I've
I
only
feel
been
like
to this movie. I saw
so,
I don't remember when I saw it. I don't think I saw it in theaters, but this 2006 would have been the time that I was in high school and
Yeah.
I was going to the theater like every weekend or whatever, like traveling to
And
Bowling Green.
and that may have been part of it too for me. In 2006, I was my son was going to be born in less than a year when this movie came out, so I was further on in adulthood when this kind of hit, and it may have just been a different taste for me. I could see being in high school maybe thinking this was the best movie ever, just because of how dumb it was.
Shut up, I'm baiting. Knock it off, I'm baiting here.
So,
All right.
the movie, just a little overview. The movie follows Joe Bauer, an average man who was selected for a top secret hibernation experiment, ends up 500 years in the future where he finds out that everything has gone to crap. Right?
What a nightmare.
What a nightmare! Big
Didn't
corporations have
take us
taken over.
that long, did it?
Just 500 years to ruin everything. Um,
I
the
like
the
the Clavion, the football players like family tree. It's like da 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 da,
Yeah.
and then he ends up like injuring his reproductive organs,
Yes,
and the doctor is like, thanks to modern advancements, we'll get him. We'll get him. He'll be able to have kids again. And then
yeah.
after that, it's like adds another 8 kids or something. Like,
God. It's,
Um,
yeah.
so I think Terry Crews is really good here. I think Maya Rudolph is really really good in this movie. If I'm pointing out bright spots, uh, I've never been a fan of Luke Wilson. Maybe I love his brother Owen, but I just don't know if Luke had he his acting chops are all the same no matter what role he is. It's the same.
You see,
They,
Owen had to develop a lot more skill and personality with that nose. That's
yeah,
why he's better. You know what I mean? He's just an average all across the board.
yeah. I feel like Luke plays the exact same character in every movie, every TV show he's in. He was in
Yeah.
one of my favorite shows, the '70s show, for a few episodes. It's the same as this one. It's in 2500, they feel like the exact same guy.
He's in a movie I just watched called Bone Tomahawk. It's like a horror, like Western movie around Civil War time, and he plays the same exact character in that movie as he does in Idiocracy.
I don't mind it. I mean, you've got actors that do the same thing, like
Vince Vaughn.
yeah, Vince Vaughn's a big one.
At
Who's
least
the
Vince
guy?
Vaughn's funny.
Who's the one that was in Juno? Michael Cera.
Like I
He's the
said,
same dude.
I'm not a fan of his either, to be honest
I
with you.
like Luke Wilson. I think the role that he plays, it fits in the movies that he's in, and I think it's
Yeah,
funny. You're talking about Owen. Is Luke and Owen brothers for
they're
sure?
Yes.
brothers.
Yeah, they're
Huh.
brothers.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew Wilson is also their brother, and he was the one that was trying to kill him in the rehabilitation.
Oh,
Dude with the
oh,
flamethrower.
yeah. What did that?
Yeah.
What was his name? It was something dumb.
Beef Supreme.
Beef
Beef Supreme.
Supreme. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly what it was. Yeah.
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 It was like the
Was it?
like the like a knockoff of the Running Man kind of like deal, like those characters.
Right. Um,
Crazy.
so
I
I
think
think
that's
Mike
really a
just
big thing too. Is like I know like my as far as the comedy that I like, I am really big into satirical stuff. Like I listen
Yeah.
like
gotcha.
Tim Dillon. Every podcast of him is him being as satirical and over the top as possible. Some of the things he probably believes, but he's over exaggerating them. And that's what this movie does, in my
Oh,
opinion.
for sure.
And that's probably why I like it so much, is because it's like right up my alley. Like apparently I've had the same comedic mind since I was in high school until now, or maybe this molded me into that. I don't know.
But I think I seen where it said Mike Judge got the idea from this movie when he was on a vacation to Disneyland with his family,
Yeah.
uh, and
Consumerism.
consumerism and how
Yeah.
everything was um, just everything was going to get combined and make this for him, right? So his direction, the world falling apart because of the mind numbingness of what we're doing. It does when you watch this kind of feel like we are as a society headed down that path. Sometimes, especially if you watch the news a lot. Um, but man, I just don't know. Um, Starbucks, they couldn't have wanted to be part of this movie, right? Because they turned into a brothel by the end of it.
Yeah,
What's the
I
big
was
store? Is it Costco?
Costco.
yeah.
Yeah, Costco. Yeah.
It was so that started as they were had a plan to make Starbucks like into this
Hmm.
brothel situation, and one of their lawyers said, "Hey, we can probably sell it better to Starbucks if we tell them that we're going to make fun of several other brands as well."
Brands, yeah,
Right.
And
companies.
Mike Judge is on record on one of his quotes. He was like, "I cannot believe they all signed off on
I
us
can't either.
basically using their likeness."
And make them look stupid as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, Costco came out fairly decent. They didn't really get too much into them, but Carl's Jr., Starbucks, um, they really took the beating in this movie for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walmart and Carlton cigarettes were the
Yeah,
only two that they reached out to that didn't allow them to use their likeness.
And Walmart would have fit right in there
Yeah.
but
for sure.
the reason why we're doing this today is because we had a discussion on the one company that did blow up from this movie, and that's Crocs. So
Ah,
Mike Judge was trying to find a cheap shoe that he thought everybody in the future would wear that looks stupid but yet futuristic.
that's
And
orange Crocs.
he found a company there in California that was a startup making these clogs, rubber clogs, and he put them in the movie, and those were Crocs. Now,
Man.
I I swore up and down I'd never buy Crocs when they first started getting popular, and
Dude, they're comfortable.
I bet there's 6 or 7 pair in my house right now. I
I've
don't
never
wear
wore
any
them.
of them, but my kids have them. My wife has them. They're all over the place. So
Yeah,
I
my
got a
kids wear them.
I got a pair. I got a couple pairs. I used to go like creek walking a lot,
yeah,
and
Yeah.
they'd be like waist high or like knee high in water.
Are they not
And
slick?
no, no.
Really?
I mean, I had traction, like the water moves through the feet too, so that you have
Right.
less like
Yeah,
resistance as far as
soggy
walk.
feeling too.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what I wore whenever I go creek
I think
walking.
it makes sense for something like that. But I'm
yeah.
not wearing them out of the house other than something like that.
No, I don't think I've ever wore them
Like to
otherwise.
out to dinner. You got
And
you some like
no,
they have like those like really nice Crocs. They have like wool in them. Got you some Sunday Crocs.
yeah, yeah.
Got
I
fur
mean,
in them.
I can't say that I haven't in over a couple years now, but
Yeah.
whenever I had them like just sitting like by the door, I may have kicked them on to
The
go to the gas
store.
station or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they are silly looking, but for some reason they're widely accepted these days.
Yes,
Like
they
It's
are.
probably hell. See, I got a high arch and I only got 1 foot. So comfort is very important to me. So,
they're
I don't know
very
if
comfortable, man. I don't know what it is about it, but they're comfortable.
anyway.
I had a
Just
pair, funny enough, I had a pair that I accidentally left in my car one time and they shrunk.
I've
They
heard
went
that
from
happening.
Oh, the
they went from
poly.
like a size 15 like to a size like 9. It was
I
the
think
silliest looking thing.
I think Wes is exaggerating about how big his foot is.
Yeah, don't we all
Yeah,
do
that's
that?
that's how big my foot is. That's I swear. 14
Uh,
or 15, depends on the
This
I,
brand.
episode sponsored by Crocs.
so to get back to the movie, Mike Judge, he kind of uses bright colors to for the future, but then it's all kind of drab over top of it where everything's been wore out, right? I think some of my favorite stuff in this movie is how things were used to evolve. Like sports went from football or baseball to people beating each other with baseball bats to just,
Yeah.
it that's the stuff.
What's the show Dax Shepard watches?
Get hit in the nuts.
Hitting the balls or yeah, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's sitting there watching over and over and over. It's funny.
And
I would
then
watch that.
in the rehabilitation game, that guy that gets hit in the nuts is singing like the national anthem, and some
It's like
dude jumps out of the crowd and kicks him in the nuts.
And he shows up on TV. He's on the
Yeah,
show on the Jumbotron.
yeah.
Yeah.
They use Braun, which I'm sure Mike Judge wanted that to be Gatorade or
Yeah,
Powerade,
Rondo.
Right.
but they probably couldn't get cleared on that. But it was obviously
You can tell
a
it's a
oh,
it's a
it's
yeah.
supposed to be Gatorade for sure.
Yeah, they're like
It's
Uh,
got what
watering
plants
the
crave.
plants.
It's got what plants crave. What do you mean?
Electrolytes
Whenever he tells them they gotta put water on it, they think he's like the
out of the toilet.
Messiah. Yeah,
Yeah,
out of the
out of
toilet.
the toilet.
Oh,
And
He has a
everybody's like,
chain around his neck.
but
Every cabinet member has a big old chain around their neck.
a spinner chain at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, the House of Representatives is called the House of Representing. I don't know if y'all caught that or not, but
I
Yeah,
it's
I
did.
on
did.
like the Jumbotron. And it's also in the House of Representatives, they have a Jumbotron. So
They have a above ground pool in the front lawn of the White House
Yeah.
in a van on cinder blocks. I think that's pretty fun. I mean, to me there are things that are definitely funny for this movie, so I'm not gonna give it a complete zero when we get there. But
Right.
yeah,
the one of the things that I thought was wild whenever I was looking up some facts about this was that Terry Crews had to audition 5 times.
well, well in two
A lot
thousand
of
well in
extra
two
work,
thousand
isn't it?
six well in 2006 he really didn't have a he was just getting started. He was just fresh out of playing football in the NFL.
He was
No
in the
one really
True,
knew.
but
movie
I mean, big buff dude,
Friday
black
After
guy.
Next, played NFL football.
I mean,
Yeah,
so yeah, basically, like they're just hiring a football player to be the president, which is what
Yeah.
they're kind
yeah.
of trying to drive home here, which is maybe why. I wonder who
I
else.
think 5 times is a lot. I wonder who else auditioned.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I wonder who else they were thinking
You think it
about.
was Denzel?
No, I think they could have been. Heck, they might have had The Rock in there because at that point
Yeah.
in time he was trying to get his movie career
They could have
started.
been holding out for Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan would have been a good one.
Oh
Yeah,
wow, yeah, that'd have been wild. Yeah.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan would have been good. Or John Claude Van Damme. Like one of just old like action stars. Come out there like roundhouse somebody. If they gave him shit, he just roundhouse them. Then get back like in fighting stance.
What do you think about
so
Maya Rudolph back then, though? I
you know,
would
I'm
a million
I've never
percent.
been I've never been a fan of hers. I didn't really care for her on SNL either. Um,
T-Cat.
I, I I think it was because of the group she was with. I don't think she was the funniest. I mean, you got Amy Poehler and Kristen Wiig in
Hey,
that
I'm
same
talking about
cast there.
doing her
Hey,
right now.
I
I'm
we
know,
not
I
ain't
know
talking
what you're
about
talking about.
comedy.
we ain't talking about funny.
I'm
Hey, remember whenever there he's like, I gotta go do something in the bushes, and he goes,
Yeah. Oh,
um,
back to the G's then.
those kind of jokes. I don't know. I do see the humor in this whole movie. I get the humor. It's just not my humor, if that makes sense. It's not um
"It's fair.
what I think.
I'm not gonna hate either of you for not liking this movie, but it is one of my favorites. Funny enough, I watched it last Friday whenever I told y'all I bought it for
Yeah.
$4.99, and I watched it again a couple days ago. Mainly
I,
because I kind of wanted to be a little bit fresh for this. That way I
mhm.
remembered things better, but I mean I still enjoyed watching it.
And
So
that's the thing at this time. And on the 27th in 2025, uh, March of 27th, it is $5 to buy and $3 to rent.
yeah.
So,
It's got
but
electrolytes.
you cannot stream it on any platform unless you rent it or buy it.
Yeah.
So it's not readily available for you to get.
Yeah, that was the
Um,
I
only reason
wonder
I
what
bought
the
it because it was $2 extra to buy, and I was just like, well, I like Mike Judge. I like this movie. $5, who cares? Or $2 extra, who cares?
so the pimp that is chasing down the what's my Rudolph Rita
Yeah,
yeah.
Rita.
is played by Scarface, member of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If y'all didn't know that,
I
those are
thought
real.
I
Go
had a
ahead.
real memory of seeing this movie like back in the day, and I thought he did end up somehow coming to the future and
He
finding
did,
her.
yeah. At the end, they show it at the end. The right at he goes after her. He wakes up and he's like, "I'm gonna find her," and then he goes walking off.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, at the end of the movie, he's there.
Maybe I missed that. Maybe I was t tuned out after everything happened or something. I thought I remembered that, and then like I watched it twice, and I was like, because I thought it was.
It's
I actually thought it remembered it being a bigger part of the movie for some reason.
So
yeah,
you
it's like
watched this
right.
twice in less than a week.
Yeah,
That's what
It's right
happened.
at the. Yeah, he got
yeah,
it
You
dumbed you
you
down.
lost some IQ points, dude. You forgot everything.
probably,
They
probably.
Costco loves you.
they
Hey,
they show
yeah,
him.
that guy that's sitting in the front, I love you. Or
That's
what
the
does he say? Welcome to
Yeah.
Costco. I love you.
that's the
There.
Rizzler's real dad.
So what? So Wes, I got a segment here where I go through Google reviews of these movies and I share them with us right before we do our own ratings. So I like to find both ends of the spectrum here. I like to find somebody who absolutely loves a movie, and I like to find somebody who absolutely hates it. So um, I got a 5-star review here. It says these people put this in 4 years ago, so they're like us. They went back and visited. Brondo, the thirst mutilator. It's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes. Look, I'm not going to give you any BS here. Just 100% pure, unadulterated truth in regard to this comedic masterpiece. I could give you a breakdown of how clever the humor is or how beautiful the cinematic shots are, blah, 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 but I'm not. What I will say is that this film directs lowbrow and sometimes crude humor appeals to the inner idiot within myself. This is the type of film you can watch with a group of friends who appreciate not having to put much mental effort into gaining satisfaction from the movie. For this fact and more, Idiocracy rates fairly high on my scale of cheese factor, revealing a nostalgic inducing vibe that will last you through your lifetime. 5 stars.
Five
So
stars, huh?
5 stars.
Wow, that was a pretty good review, though.
So
That
three
was. I
months
mean,
ago,
like talking about
yeah, go ahead.
lowbrow, you don't have to put a whole lot of thought into it. Like, I mean, that's also
Spot
kind of
on.
the angle that I'm coming at with
Right.
it.
Yeah,
Like, it's not like,
yeah. Don't take it for what it's not.
yeah, I was gonna say this isn't
For sure.
some, genius level. You got to think about every joke. It's just right there.
Okay.
It's like
So
if you were a bunch of dudes and you were in high school or even middle school, this joke with the finger going in the
Dude,
circle,
it's still
like
funny at
that,
almost 40.
it's
it's
hilarious.
funny.
And the farts and the talking about the bodily fluids and functions, it's all funny.
Yeah.
But
So
it's just kind of easy, like lazy humor though,
yeah.
sometimes, you know.
Well, that's I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
I got
that's
you.
the whole point. What I'm saying, it's not meant to be something that you
Right.
think
Yeah.
this grand scheme of.
So Easy E 3 months ago uh
Months ago.
decided he was going to review this movie
He's
as well.
alive.
Bitch.
Yeah, different Easy.
He's alive. I
Okay,
thought
so I
AIDS got
was
him.
Easy here says, okay, so I was recommended to watch this movie from one of the most intelligent people I've had the luxury of coming across in a lifetime. WTF, Tony? The dumbest movie I've ever seen. Wilson plays as Luke Wilson. No big shocker there. A bunch of comedians who forgot they were comedians. This movie felt like it was a never-ending bad SNL skit. A chuckle here and there, not even enough to remember. This movie reminds me of the really funny movie Tropic Thunder and a quote from RDJ. You never go full retard. But for some odd reason, this movie is a glimpse into the future, according to my buddy who recommended this movie. Mind blown. Oh, and I still believe Tony is trolling me. 1 star.
Travis said retard.
I did. Was in here. I didn't say it. Easy E said it.
His words. His
It's
words.
Easy E's words, not
Yeah,
Travis's
you're just
words.
reading it. You're just reading them. Well, that's a review. Travis, you want to go first, or shall I?
Nah,
Or should we give the
get
honor to our
the
guests?
the guests go first. Wes, 0 to 5. You can use decimal points. I know you're an avid watcher of the show. You know how we do this. Um,
We don't want no
let
rookie
me
scores.
no rookie scores unless you feel the need. Tell us what you got
Oh
here,
no, I
bud.
don't think he score anything. No, I'm good on this. I, like I said, I have a big connection to this movie because I thought it was hilarious whenever I was a kid. Still think it's pretty funny. I think it holds up in my opinion. It's also like the parallel to what we've got going on in the world right now. It's like this could be us in 500 years. And I did read too that they tried to do like some uh fake advertisements for Camacho running in
I
I
remember
think
the truck.
2024 or 20 one of the
Yeah,
Trump ones, one of the Trump elections, and they were supposed to be anti-Trump, but they ended up like getting turned down. They wouldn't let them do it. But it would have been funny to see some anti-Trump ads with Camacho running against
that would
them
have
or
been
Yeah, it'd be
whatever.
that
funny.
would
Like
have been
that would have
hilarious.
been hilarious. Um, that all being said, I give us 3.98.
So that's gonna put you in the mostly fine by me, almost a real fine by me.
Dang, it's a
Uh,
high score.
I You said 3.8,
9.8.
3.98.
That's almost a four, dude.
Yeah.
That's point
Almost
two
not.
points, 2/10.
All right, Josh, what do you got for the movie today?
I like the movie. It's a fun movie. I watched it with my brother several times. Like I said, it's about the time that I was in high school was when this come out. A lot of it's kind of lowbrow humor for me, which is I do like it, but it's not something that I'm not going to watch a lot of. It's not something that I ever really think about. I really forgot about this movie until Wes brought it up. Like, not forgot about it, but it's not like something I thought about like watching. So I'm going to give
For
it
sure.
a 1.8 on the real fine by me scale. I don't know where that
So
puts us, but it's low.
that is barely fine by me.
I
And
can put it on
that's the first one below twos. Um, you said a 1.8.
1.8.
So me and Josh are always we've only had one movie where we weren't within 5.5 of each other, I think. It was just one movie. Um, Wes, I love your love for this movie. I love that you love it, and
Yeah,
you're one of the people that gave them $465,000 to
yeah.
get this movie off the ground or whatever.
Everybody likes something.
Um, yes, you got to be the one, right?
Yeah,
Um, it's okay in times. I forget about it from time to time until something stupid happens in the world, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's like that movie. It's not
yeah.
something I go searching out. I don't. It's not something if I saw on TV, I would probably stop and watch more than 2 minutes. Um, there are spots that are really funny, and if you're in the right mindset, I can see where it would be funny.
Hi.
Uh, but I'm going a 1.6.
Oh, lower than me.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
dum dum dum.
that is also barely fine by me. Wes, we're gonna have to get you on here for a better movie.
I
So
mean, this
since we
is,
get
I'm not responsible for y'all's
I know.
bad.
He's a better movie for us.
Yeah, I'm
for,
not
for me,
responsible for y'all's bad opinions.
We want to have you on our show so we can shit on your movie.
yeah. So
Maybe that's what the
uh,
show might turn into. We'll just start having people like, hey man, what's your favorite movie? And they tell us, like, all right, man, come on, man, we'll do a review, and then just shit on that movie the whole time. Dude, that's a funny
This
show.
is, I mean, I'll say this is far from my favorite movie.
Right,
yeah.
I know.
My,
That would
What
be a
is your
funny
favorite movie?
oh, I don't.
Steel Magnolias.
Brokeback
Since
Mountain.
we're
Burns
about to
on the
run it,
River Kwai.
we're about to run out of time here, but it's okay. Good Will Hunting's probably my favorite movie. Till and then as far as the best movie I've ever seen, I would put The Dark Knight up there. If we ever get to it, it will be the highest score I've ever given any movie on here.
Well, that's
But
cool. I'm not going to tell anybody. They just got to keep on tuning in for I tell them my favorite movie.
Yeah, I don't even know. I'm trying to think of what, like, well, I was
Oh,
trying
I
to kind
got
of think
one.
comedy wise, but like one of something that just comes to my mind, and this probably isn't my favorite movie, but Saving Private Ryan. I
That's
know
a
I've
good
seen
one.
Save
that movie
Ryan's
just
is
times.
It's a
Ferris
good one.
Bueller's Day Off.
that's a great
Yeah.
one too.
Thanks
Wes,
for letting me off space.
we've enjoyed your time here. I know this isn't the long format that Fine by Me is. We get her done in about 30 minutes. We take care of it, but we've enjoyed our quick trip around the movie Idiocracy with you today. Um, Anything you want to sell or give the listeners before we get out of here?
Do you want to promote anything, Wes? You got anything going on?
Yeah, I do a podcast weekly with a couple other faggots.
Where? I don't see any. We're not cigarettes.
Cigarettes, bundle of sticks. But yeah, me, Josh, and Nick do
When's that come out?
That comes out on Thursday at 5 a.m. I don't
Every
know why
week.
5 a.m. Josh chose that a year and a half ago, and here we
It
are.
works.
I just went with everybody else's. I looked at everybody else's.
Real Fine by Me comes out whenever we get a chance to put it out.
Usually on Friday or Saturdays.
Yeah, Deep Divers. It comes out whenever it comes out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all for listening.
All right. Well, that's been another episode of Real Fine by Me. Make sure you comment your favorite movie down below and how much you either really liked this movie or really hated this movie. That's what we need to know. Is Wes right, or is me and Josh on the right side of the history when it comes to Idiocracy? So,
See y'all. Love you.
see ya.